Like the KSI and like Logan Paul shit. Like I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, I don't know if that's real. I think it's real. I think
it has to be real.
Yeah, but they're both smart businessmen.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're good for each other, which is why it's good to sort of.
I think the beef between KSI and Jake Paul is actually very real.
Yeah.
But I think Logan, you know what? I told a lot of people that Mike and Logan Paul invited me to come on their podcast, which I'm going to do Impulsive.
Yeah.
And people in my chat were like, L. First of all, I'm a huge fan of Mike and Logan Paul.
Yeah.
I think Logan Paul made a mistake, and I think he was actually remorseful of that mistake. When a lot of people think, like, well, why did he do it in the first place? Well, it was a lapse of judgment, a terrible lapse of judgment at that. Yeah. But I'm actually a really big fan of Logan Paul. I think he's really funny, really smart, and really creative. Agreed. And you don't get that big on YouTube without having a special type of talent. And so I was honored when Mike was like DMing me, like, hey, man, we got to get you on Impulsive. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Yeah. So in that sense, I think Logan and KSI, it leads me to believe that I think the beef itself, it was true to a certain extent. And then they realized, and maybe that's what it was in my mind, they realized like how beneficial it was for both of them, and it helped a lot. But like the things that I see KSI and Logan Paul like go back and forth chirping at each other, I feel like that shit's real. But Logan just seems like too smart and too nice of a guy. And KSI I've known since day fucking one. Yeah. Like props to him, kudos to him, like how successful he's become.
Insane.
Anything he touches just turns to gold.
Yeah.
And so with them two together, with building up both those fights and the money that they made from it, there's no way in my mind that they weren't messaging each other in some regard.
Yeah.
Talking about shit.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's sort of when you have that fan base, when you have that big of a fan base on both sides, it's got to be like even more pressure, right? Because it's not like there's like a couple of fucking people, like millions of people are just shit talking you because they are on the Jake Paul side or they're in the KSI fight. Side. It's just insane. The one thing for sure is that they like KSI will go down as like one of the most influential people in all of YouTube. You know what I mean? Selling out soccer arenas to play, just putting together
Mount Rushmore of YouTube.
Yeah, 100%, bro. It's insane.
Yeah,
it is fucking crazy. Now that he's doing the rap thing, I heard one like Lamborghini when it first came out. You know what I mean? But aside from that, I don't really listen to anything else. But I fuck with the fact that he didn't say I'm a FIFA streamer or I'm a FIFA gamer.
Yeah.
And then just went on and created businesses just off of his brand, which to me is fucking insane. We're writing history every single day as we go through this YouTube sort of thing that we're doing. You look at new media and you look at the Barstool versus the Call Her Daddy podcast and shit like that. Like they will write about this thing forever once everything's all said and done. I don't know if we'll ever find out like where they ended up with the settlement or not, but it goes to show that like everything that we do now will sort of have this ripple effect throughout the history of mankind from now on.
Dave Portnoy is a genius.
Huh?
Dave Portnoy is a fucking genius, dude.
Yeah, he is. The fact that he was talking about it. But the fact that he went on their podcast.
Dave Portnoy is the best and biggest asshole I've ever seen. Like, what a fucking guy, dude.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like Dave Portnoy. I fucking love Dave Portnoy because there's not a situation where he doesn't tell it like it is. And every time it works out in his favor. Like, Barstool, I love everybody at Barstool, dude.
Yeah, same.
I'm a big fan of Barstool.
So am I.
Dude, Dave Portnoy roasted me on Twitter.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, bro, because I tweeted out that Cheez-Its are like the worst snack in existence. The truth was, I have never eaten a Cheez-It. The hand of God on my mother's soul. Yeah. I have never had a Cheez-It in my entire life. And I was only putting out the tweet to Russell, my girlfriend's Jimmy's, razz her a little bit because she loves Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
And so the next day, I'm getting, my Twitter is lighting up. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I open my phone. Dave Portnoy quote tweeted it and said, "You seem like a successful guy. So, yada, yada, yada. But you're also a fucking moron. Cheez-Its are the best thing ever. You fucking imbecile, you stupid idiot."
God damn.
Something crazy like that.
Yeah.
You could probably pull it up and put it on the screen. So then I was trying to be funny, dude. I'm like, all right, I've got Dave Portnoy's attention. How do I get him to follow me and how do I have an interaction with him?
Yeah.
So I thought what I did was actually really funny because I watch all of his pizza reviews and I had his pizza app on my phone and it basically goes through all the pizza places in your area, and it's like an aggregate, like kind of like Yelp for pizza. And then if Dave has reviewed it, you'll see it on the app. And so I changed my background of my phone to like Dave Portnoy's photo, and sent him like a screen recording of my iPhone of me deleting the app from my phone. And then the subtlety of it was like Dave is like my screen background.
Yeah.
And
that's genius.
Yeah,
I didn't see that. I missed it.
Yeah, it got some good traction, but nothing ever came from it. But I love Dave Portnoy.
I like it too. I like the Barstool. Everything the Barstool's doing is really good. The other people that did it before them that did it successfully and they're still doing it successfully to this day is Complex. Complex
is great.
Yeah, Complex, I think, obviously came before them to the level that they're doing it right now, obviously. But and they did it so fucking right. They did it perfectly. I always look at them and as a sort of North Star. Maybe because I'm a hip hop head and like that's always been my thing. And everything that they do is like interesting to me, and that's the people that I started following from the beginning. And I saw how they diversified into different things. The documentaries they did on shoes, like it was just like Blueprint, for example. Like Blueprint is one of my favorite YouTube shows that has ever been created. They do interviews with Kith, what's his name, fucking Ronnie Fig, right? Like they did an interview with him, and I was just like mind blown. They did an interview with Cause. They did like Architect. Like they do it fucking right.
Complex is great. My only like note on Complex, because it sounds like you have a deeper understanding of their business, because I only follow like when they tweet something out. They should have never let academics and Joe Budden separate. It should have never happened. Yeah. And I still don't know the whole story, but I think Joe Budden just couldn't stand academics. Yeah. He didn't want to be associated with them, which I understand if you're Joe Budden, who had a successful stint in rap and whatever. But I've never seen Complex get more attention than academics and Joe Budden getting after it, going against each other every single episode. Because I haven't watched that fucking show one time since
they broke up. Really?
Joe Budden has left. I haven't watched it once. And I used to watch the snippets. I used to watch it all the fucking time.
Yeah.
And, people have split opinions on academics. Every interaction I've had with him and messages and stuff, I don't really watch his content anymore, but it's always been positive. So I don't have a negative thing to say about either of them. But that duo should have never got split up. If I were Joe Budden, man, I would have just like. But a lot of thing about like the rap community, hip hop community is all about credibility and your reputation and who you are as a man or a woman and what you stand for. And so I can totally understand if Joe Budden was like, this shit is whack, I'm out, I'm not going to associate with this guy. I get that. But man, if you didn't have that pride, bro, that shit, it was every single episode. That's what the internet was talking about.
Yeah. No.